Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Programming with DP Wala. Hope you all are doing good. Today we are discussing the problem from the Lead Code Daily Challenge, and this is one of the very interesting, or we can say the famous interview problem that has been already asked in many of the interviews of the famous companies. The approach required to solve this problem is based on the important concepts of data structure and algorithm, that is recursion and backtracking. To solve this problem, one must be familiar and having the good hands on recursion and backtracking. If any of you are having any doubts related to recursion or dynamic programming or how backtracking works, you can check my blogs on Medium. I have explained many such problems on recursion and you can find it on Medium as well. So now let's discuss this problem. So here in this problem we are given an integer array nums and we need to return all the different possible non-decreasing subsequence of the given array. And the subsequence that we are generating is of at least of length 2, and if it is less than of length 2 then we do not need to return that, we can say push that subsequence in the vector, and at last we need to return the corresponding vector as our final answer. So here in this problem, to solve this problem, first one must know what is subsequence. Subsequence is nothing but the non-contiguous numbers, means here we can skip the numbers. There are two things, one is subarray and one is subsequence. Subarray is the contiguous form of the numbers where numbers are in the sequential order, and sequential order in the sense means we can't skip any number, but in subsequence we can skip numbers. So here we need to find the non-decreasing subsequence, means increasing subsequence. So now we are so now let's discuss this problem with the help of the another example where all the test cases can be handled and you can know clearly that how to apply recursion and what is the base case and how to generate a tree-like structure. So I will take one example and I will generate a tree-like structure for it, and so that, and after that we will see the code for it. So let's discuss. So here we can say the array that I have taken is 4357. In this array, we can see that the numbers are not in proper increasing order. Means number are in mismatch order. They are not properly sorted. So here we need to use the recursion concept and a backtracking concept as I have mentioned to solve this problem. So here we are generating the recursive tree to solve this problem. So here what we think is that first we have a two choices, that is one is we can take 4 and we can not take 4. So to solve this problem we need to think in terms of that, as in the question they have mentioned that we need to generate a subsequence, means non-decreasing subsequence. In subsequence we can skip number. So there are two choices for the particular number, that is to take it and not take it. So here let's start with the first element of the array, that is 4. So here in this case we have not taken the 4 number, but here we have taken. So our array has consists of empty elements in this uh, side, and here we have 4. Then we have choices of 3, that whether to take 3 or not take 3. So in this case we do not take 3, so here the array is empty. But here we have taken 3. So when we push 3 inside this empty array, so 3 is there. Similarly for this, we not take it and take it. But here is the catch, that in the question we need to generate a non-decreasing. Non-decreasing in the sense it should be in increasing order. Means the number we are adding currently must be greater than the previous number that is already present in the array. Means the last number that is present in the array. But here the present number is 4 and the current number is 3, which is less than, so we can't take it because it will either otherwise it will generate the decreasing array, and which is not possible and which is the wrong answer. So in this case we do not take 3. So here the two conditions that we have checked is that first we are taking it and not taking it, and second is that we need to take only those numbers that the current number that we are adding must be greater than the previous number, or we can say the last number that is already present in that array, because otherwise it will not generate a non-decreasing subsequence. Similarly, we do it for the 5 and we take it, not take it. So here we not take it, the array is still empty, and we take it, then it becomes 5. Similarly, in 3 we do not add 5, we add 5. For 4 we do not add 4, we add 4. Here we do not add 5. Here we can add 5. And at last we do the same thing for the 6, and at last at the terminal end, so we can say the leaf nodes of the end numbers, we get all the subsequent that are generated, or we can say that can be generated from the given array, non-decreasing subsequent that can be generated from the given array. But here is the catch, that in the question they told us that the subsequent subsequence must be unique. Means there should not be any repetition of the subsequences. Here we can see that 4 5 and 4 5. If the repetition case is there, means any number we can adding, it will at last it will generate the same subsequence. So otherwise, or we can say create, rather than creating the 2D vector in the starting, we can create a set of vector. In set, we will push the vector. It will automatically skip all the duplicates value, and at last it will give us the unique value. And yeah, at the time of returning the final answer, we simply push that set into the vector, or we can say convert that set to the vector and return that vector. So hope you understand the approach behind this problem. So here, to solve this problem, you need to handle four, or we can say you need to consider 4 to 5 points that is necessary. The first and the most important point here is that first you need to consider that each number is having two choices, take or not take it. So you need to move according to it only. Second, the numbers you are inserting in the current array must be greater than the last element of that particular array. So here we have seen that in the red color I have marked it. So this is the second case. Third case is that we need to handle the duplicate values. And the fourth and the most important case is that uh, to solve this problem, as we are using recursion and backtracking, the base condition should be checked. This must be the first point, but I have explained it earlier as well, that base condition should be that whenever we reach the end of the at the end of the nums array that they have given, at that time we simply check that whether the subsequence is having the length greater than 2 or not. If it is having greater than equal to 2, then we simply push that into our answer. So at last, the final subsequences that we are generating may consist of the some of the subsequences which are of length less than equal to 2. So we need to skip that subsequences and add only those which are having greater than 2 and that are unique. So here you got the approach behind that, how to generate a recursive tree and how backtracking is working in the we can say how recursion is working. So let's discuss its code and understand this problem in a very efficient manner. So let's discuss. So here what I have done, that I have created the set of vectors. So to avoid the duplicate values, I have taken the set rather than taking the 2D vector at the starting. Here I have called the DFS function, which will calculate the total number of non-decreasing subsequences. So I initially at the start our index is 0, then nums, which is the main array, and v, in which we are putting, or we can say generating the subsequences, and we are calling the function. So here this is our base condition, that whenever we reaches to the end of the nums array, we simply need to check that whether that the subsequent we generated is of length greater than 2 or not. If it is greater than 2, then means it's a valid subsequence. So we simply push it, or we can say insert it into our result set, and we return from there. But after that, if we are in the middle position, we need to call the further recursive calls. So here we store the current element of the array in the current element variable, and previous element of that particular array, or we can say last element of that particular array, in the previous element variable. But to put, or we can say to store the element in the previous, to store the previous element, we must have the previous element. Means if suppose the array is empty, how if no element is present in the array, how we can take the last element? So in this case, we need to check that whether that particular size of the subsequence, or we can say is 0 or not. If it is 0, means nothing is present. We simply assign previous value as any minimum value, and if it is not of length, or we can say 0, we simply set the previous value as the last element present in that particular vector. After that, we need to check that whether that particular, or we can say current element, is greater than equal to previous element or not, as I have mentioned in the discussion, or we can say the explanation part. If current element is greater than previous element, we simply push it into the vector and call the DFS function for the remaining elements of the array. This is for the take condition. Suppose if we do not want to take that element, so we do not need to choose that number. We need to skip that number, and we can move to the further part of the array. So here, what we need to do, as we have pushed the element, we need to pop back that element, and we need to skip that element and call the recursive call for the remaining array element. So this is very simple. Else, if the current element is not greater than equal to previous element, we need to skip, as I have marked with the red color in the explanation part. So we simply call the recursive call for the remaining array elements. So in this way, at last we will return, and in this way, the whole recursive tree can be generated in the backend, and the recursion works and the backtracking works. And at last, we put all our, we can say, the set into our vector. As our return type is 2D vector, we simply push that set into our 2D vector, and we return that answer. And hence, we successfully implement that problem. So this problem is purely based on backtracking and recursion. And to solve this problem, first we need to think in terms of base condition and some of the edge cases to solve this problem. Edge cases is nothing but that it contains the duplicate values, and whenever the previous element, or we can say the element already present in the vector at last, it should be less than the current element. If it is not present, then we simply made the recursive call. So these 2 to 3 points that I have mentioned in the explanation part need to be handled to solve this problem successfully. Hope you understand this problem and you got the approach behind how recursion and backtracking is required to implement this problem successfully, and what is the importance of recursion and backtracking. If you are good at recursion and backtracking, then this problem is cakewalk for you, and you can easily understand trees, graphs, and dynamic programming. So master recursion and backtracking very well, so that these three important advanced data structure topics will be easier for you, because these are widely asked in interviews as well. Hope you understand this problem, and if you watch this video till this point, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay connected for more such code shape, code force and lead code contest analysis. Thank you. Happy coding.